I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live, everybody. Happy New Year! Woo! It's the first show of 2023. It's the first day of 2023. Sunday, January the 1st. Avatar rules the box office once again. $63.4 million. It's up to 421.5. That's huge. It's gigantic. It's bigger than how we all thought it was going to do 2 weeks ago, based off that 134 opening weekend. But as people have been saying, these James Cameron movies have legs. They go on and on and on. The movies themselves go on and on and on. And that's exactly what Avatar is. I think it's an incredibly boring movie, but it's making $1.5 billion. That's what it's at right now. Could get to $2 billion. Will it get to the $2.9 billion of the first Avatar? We'll have to see. That was the worldwide gross of that. Wow. Whew, it's making a ton of money. It's going to continue to make more, probably another $20 million tomorrow. Get over $500 million domestically. See if it gets to the 750 of Top Gun. Will it get to that $750 million of Top Gun domestically? Top Gun Maverick. We will see. If you're watching live here on YouTube Live, hey, what's up? Happy New Year. And you can send in your questions and your comments right here to LCJ Live. Your number 2 movie is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. $16.3 million in the 3-day. Gonna add another $5 or $6 million tomorrow. It's gonna be up to $65, $66 million. It's got to get past that $97 million from The Bad Guys, the previous DreamWorks animated movie. It's got to get there. Got to get to $100 million. I think it can do that by the time we get to Oscar nomination morning, which is Tuesday, January the 24th. And I think Puss in Boots will be on that Oscar ballot for Best Animated Feature. It is a Golden Globe nominee. We got the Golden Globe Awards Tuesday, January 10th. Then we have the Critics' Choice Awards on Sunday, January the 15th. It's also on that ballot. So Puss in Boots: The Last Wish doing really well. At the box office, it's doing pretty well and really well when it comes to awards season. Next movie is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. $4.8 million. It's at $438. Big movie for Marvel and Disney for the holiday season. Disney needed it. Doctor Strange did well. Thor, all right. Not as much. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever doing well. Now, is it going to get to the $700 million of the first Black Panther? No, it's not. Because it does not have that emotional impact where people need to go see it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That's what people needed to do with the first Black Panther, is to go see it multiple times. But not quite the case for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But it's still making money. $438, it'll get to $480 or $450, maybe a little more, but it will not get to the $700 million of the first Black Panther. I kind of think that Avatar: The Way of Water took away the spot that could have gone to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever when it comes to the Best Picture category this award season. Because you got Top Gun Maverick, gigantic action movie. You got Avatar, gigantic action movie. Black Panther, gigantic action movie. Can you have 3 in a category of 10 movies or 5 movies or 11 movies in the case of Critics' Choice? So I think Avatar took the spot away from Black Panther. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Whitney Houston movie. $4.3 million. It's at $14.9 million. Doing okay. Not great. I mean, I remember when Sparkle came out in 2012. And it was right after Whitney Houston died, and a lot of people thought this movie was going to be a blockbuster, and it wasn't. Sparkle hardly made any money at all. So I thought to myself, gosh, I don't know if this is actually going to make a lot of money. And it's doing all right, but not exceptionally. Now, Babylon, we're still waiting on the money for Babylon, or we got it? $2.7 million for Babylon. 3-day total, 4-day total, $3.6 million. It's going to be at about $11 million. It's a tough sell of a movie, even with a mega movie star who's really good in it like Brad Pitt. Babylon is a tough sell because it's a 3-hour movie. It's not a very good movie outside of Brad Pitt. And it's R. La La Land was not. It's a tough sell for people. And even with some of the nominations it's getting, some of them it deserves, some of them it does not. It's still not bringing in the amount of audiences I think Paramount was expecting for this time of year. Violent Night added $2.1 million even after Christmas. This is a movie people want to see. Yeah, it's about Santa Claus, it's David Harbour, but it's made $2.1 million. It's up to $47.5. Maybe it'll get to $50 million, and Universal may greenlight a second Violent Night. We'll have to see. Next up is The Whale. The Whale, I've heard a lot of people want to go see it over Christmas and New Year's. The Whale added $1.3 million. It's at $5.8. Brendan Fraser, Best Actor contender for his performance in this movie. He's good in the movie. I don't like the movie as a whole. I don't like any of the supporting characters. The Whale is making money for A24. 1.1 million each going to The Fabelmans and The Menu. The Fabelmans is at 12.2. The Menu is at $36.2 million. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Strange World. Do we have the money on Strange World yet? Yeah, they're looking at about $500,000. It's at a little more than 37, one of the biggest Disney bombs of all time. A Man Called Otto, which I said should have been a nationwide Christmas Day release from Sony. Oh, they lost out on millions of dollars not putting this out nationwide on Christmas Day. Would have done so well. Started off in 4 theaters on Friday. It's at 60,000. It'll be 75,000 from the 4 theaters when you're looking at the through Monday gross. A good start for a good movie with Tom Hanks giving a performance I hope he gets Oscar and SAG nominated for. And it goes nationwide this Friday. The nationwide expansion was originally going to be January 13. Sony finally came to their senses the other day, and they're going to put it out nationwide on Friday. So I think a lot of people are really excited to see Tom Hanks in this role. Really looking forward to this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see A Man Called Otto. If you're looking forward to it, good. It's a good film. That is a nationwide starting Friday. Alice Darling in Los Angeles this weekend from Anna Kendrick for Lionsgate qualifying it for awards. And it goes nationwide on January 20. I've seen it. I'm not allowed to share my thoughts yet on Alice Darling. So there's your box office. Avatar and Puss in Boots lead the way. The rest are farther back. A Man Called Otto will do well this weekend along with Megan. Megan is the first major studio release of 2023. And I think it could, gosh, if it does 35 or 40 million, it will beat Avatar, I believe, or it'll be a very good battle to win the weekend. Will it get that high? I think it can do it. I think it can get more than 30 million. So it's going to be a close battle between Megan and Avatar: The Way of Water for your weekend box office champion next weekend for the first weekend. A Man Called Otto is not going to open to 30 million. I hope it gets to 10. Now, I know they moved up this nationwide expansion, so maybe a lot of people don't realize it's actually coming out this Friday versus next Friday the 13th. But especially if he gets nominations and as the film goes on into the winter time, could have steady weekends, small drops, little growths, things like that when it comes to the box office for A Man Called Otto. So I hope it does well next weekend. It'll probably come in 4th behind Puss in Boots. But Megan and Avatar is a good battle for this coming weekend. Let's talk about Barbara Walters. I met her in 2010. She came to UAlbany near me in upstate New York and had a talk with some students there about her career, about journalism, about the art of the interview. And what a legend, what an icon. Met her at the very end. She was almost out the door, said hi to her, got a picture with her, and she called me handsome, which I will never forget. Rest in peace to an absolute legend, an icon. I was watching some of the tribute clips the other day, and the way she interviewed someone, the way she prepared for an interview, spending hours and days coming up with the questions, all her note cards, then changing on the fly, everything involved. The way she talked with people, her process, her motivations. She had a great interview. It's online now with Johnny Carson. I saw it on the Johnny Carson rerun about 2 months ago. About her life, her career, her thoughts on everything going on in the world, securing an interview, everything. What an icon, what a legend in this business, one of the best ever, a trailblazer for women and for all journalists and for all people on television. Obviously being involved with The View for the 25 years, creating that show, and her involvement with ABC News with the Today Show. What a legacy. What an incredible career and life that Barbara Walters had. Rest in peace to Barbara Walters. It was an honor to meet you briefly in 2010, and what an impact you have had on so many in the television, news, interview, entertainment business for 6 decades. Just at least unbelievable career. Rest in peace to Barbara Walters. Over the past couple of weeks, into the end of last year and the beginning of this year now, I've been screening a lot of the contenders for the Best Animated Short Film Academy Award. And those nominees are going to be announced on January 24. But I have some AnimationScoop.com Q&As. A couple of them are already there. More coming this week and in the coming weeks with the makers of these very good shorts. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics on some of them and go into them yet, but you can read a couple of them at AnimationScoop.com now. But I will say the talent this year, I haven't seen all 15 shorts yet, but I've seen about 10, 11, or 12 of them. I still have a few to watch and interview the makers, and more of them coming this week. It's a great global group of filmmakers, of talent, young talent, older talent, and very interesting stories. Some of them are funny, some of them are true stories, emotional, deep, powerful, unique for sure. And the winner last year was The Windshield Wiper, a very cool, innovative movie from Alberto Mielgo. And that kind of vibe is what I'm getting from a lot of the shorts this year. Daring storytelling, unique perspectives, taking chances, visual chances, story chances, interesting looks at various topics, and that's definitely the vibe I'm getting. This is a good group, and we'll see what gets nominated, and I still have a few more to watch, but it is a good group of animated short film contenders, 15 finalists for the Best Animated Short Film Academy Award. There we go. This week you will get a new LCJ Q&A podcast episode, the first of 2023, and AnimationScoop.com Q&A for Super Kitties, a new Disney Junior animated series premiering next week, January 11th. And I talked with the makers of that, Paula Rosenthal and Kirk Van Wormer. You'll get that episode and Animation Scoop Q&A, I believe, on Thursday. So look forward to the first of 2023. I've already recorded another one that'll be coming out in February. I can't tell you about that one yet, and I've got another one I'll be doing this week that'll post probably next week. So some cool animation in the works and coming at you, and some new AnimationScoop.com Q&As and LCJ Q&A podcast episodes. Hope you all had a nice Christmas and New Year's, and thank you to everyone who took a look at my 10 best movies of 2022 list. It has gotten a lot of attention over the past few days, and it's a different group. It's a very good group of films, but as I wrote the other day, a lot of the blockbusters this year were terrible, and it was a lot of the smaller movies that were really, really good. I will mention briefly here, before we get into the top 10, I will just mention for a minute the honorable mentions, one of them being A Man Called Otto. I had that on my honorable mentions list. I just want to pull it up to make sure I've got them all in front of me here. And I think I do. Yes. Apollo 10.5, A Space-Age Childhood. Richard Linklater's animated movie. Quite an experience. Breaking. John Boyega, Nicole Beharie. Excellent performances. Immersive drama. Thriller. Intergalactic. Love this animated film. I call it a film. It's got credits. It's got structure. It's a film. Netflix says it's a special. It's a movie. It's 90 minutes long. Intergalactic was one of the most unique animated experiences I've had in a long time. Romance. Some futuristic elements. Grounded story. Love Intergalactic. Hallelujah. Leonard Cohen, A Journey, A Song. A documentary on Leonard Cohen. Really good. Also Living. Bill Nighy. My favorite lead actor performance of the year. Tom Hanks is second, but Bill Nighy number one. He's in Living. Living expands to more theaters this month. Go see it. Man Called Otto. Official Competition. Antonio Banderas, Penelope Cruz. Movie about movies. Funny film. Love Official Competition. The Phantom of the Open. Mark Rylance. Sally Hawkins should be in the supporting actress conversation for Phantom of the Open, but Sony Classics didn't put it up for consideration, which is a huge mistake because she's really good in it. So is Mark Rylance. Movie based on a true story about golf. Fun film, emotional film. She Said, which should be in the Best Picture conversation. Actress performance, Zoe Kazan. Supporting actress, Carey Mulligan. She's up for the Golden Globe. The film is up for adapted screenplay at Critics' Choice. I wish it would get more recognition. She Said is a very strong film. And a documentary called We Met in Virtual Reality, all about the VR experience, went to HBO. Really good movie, We Met in Virtual Reality. Check that out on HBO Max. When it comes to the top 10 list this year, and you can let me know if you're watching now on YouTube Live, your favorite performances in films. Liza Friedman, New Year, cannot wait for more movies this year. Yeah, there's some big ones on the way for sure. Eric Degliomini. Mark Rylance was everywhere this year. Yeah, look at Bones and All, which he's nominated for the Spirit Award for. Look at The Outfit, Phantom of the Open. I think he was in one or two other movies. He had a strong year, Mark Rylance, for sure. 10 best list, Le Petit Nicolas, Little Nicholas, which I have an AnimationScoop.com Q&A for that as well that's up there now. Lovely, delightful animated film based on the French comic children's book series and their creators. Love it. My Old School, fascinating documentary featuring Alan Cumming. Heck of a true story. Check out My Old School. The greatest beer run ever. As I was watching it, I was immersed in it. After the first 10 or 15 minutes, whole way through, fantastic. Russell Crowe, one of the best supporting actor performances of the year. He's really good in The Greatest Beer Run Ever. Watch that on Apple TV+. Last Film Show is India's submission for international feature for the Oscars. It's about movies. It's about the theatrical experience. It's the best movie this year in 2022 to capture the theatrical experience. Not Okay. Zoe Deutsch. It's on Hulu. Heck of a story. Really clever. Well done. Ties everything together. A lot of elements to it that all make sense. Not Okay. Top 5. Operation Mincemeat at number 5. Best ensemble. One of the best ensembles of the year. Colin Firth. Jason Isaacs is in it. Kelly MacDonald, Johnny Flynn is in it. There's a few others. Operation Mincemeat is an incredible true story, and this cast is fantastic. Everybody together. It's a dramatic thriller. It's for older audiences. Mostly they'll get into it, but I really was moved by it. Operation Mincemeat. Early in the year, saw it, loved it. Bardo, number 4. Alejandro Iñárritu's film. I know a lot of people have hated it, but I thought it was really good. Not quite as good as Birdman, but Alejandro is so fearless in his filmmaking, and he shows that in Bardo. Some of the best scenes in any movie this year, a lot of them come from Bardo. The dialogue is excellent. Check out Bardo on Netflix. Downton Abbey, New Era, number 3. I saw it, I loved it. Just the whole way through, had a smile on my face. Much better than the first movie, and I never watched the show. Downton Abbey, A New Era. It's fun, it's sweet, it's moving. It's a good time. It should be on Peacock. It's on some other places as well. Number 2 is 13 Lives. Ron Howard. The Thai Cave Rescue movie. Soccer team. Man, Colin Farrell, what a year he had. Also, Viggo Mortensen and Joel Edgerton. All fantastic performances. Twists are shocking. It gets you. 2.5 hours, totally worth it. 13 Lives, watch it on Prime Video. And number 1 is Tar. Cate Blanchett gives the performance of the year. So immersive. The dialogue is excellent. It is exceptional, daring filmmaking from Todd Field. You're with it the whole way through. You have to pay attention. But if you do, it will all work out. I talk about this with Mike Sargent on our latest Too Fast, Too Films episode, which will be up soon at toofast2films.com. We talk about our favorite and least favorite, the best and worst movies of the year. We name our 2 best and 2 worst. And I hope you enjoyed that episode. I hope it's up soon at toofast2films.com. I hope you enjoy that. We had a good, fun conversation, especially about the worst movies. Whoa, we have a good time getting into that. So check that out soon at toofast2films.com. So those are my 10 best and the honorable mentions for 2022. What am I looking forward to in 2023? Well, a lot of animated movies come to mind. Super Mario Brothers comes to mind. Elemental from Pixar. Also, Indiana Jones is back, and there's some big superhero movies, Guardians and Ant-Man, that are on the way. And there'll be some awards contenders we'll hear about halfway through the year that'll sneak on in. And a lot of big movies, for sure. For 2023, we start off with Megan this week. We've got House Party and Plane the following week. We've got When You Finish Saving the World, and then Shotgun Wedding and a couple others end off January. February's got Knock at the Cabin from M. Night Shyamalan, Ant-Man, Cocaine Bear from Elizabeth Banks. March is huge. John Wick, I'm very much looking forward to. Dungeons & Dragons is in March. There's a few others in March I'm forgetting right now, but March is a big month for films. And then, of course, Super Mario Brothers kicks off everything for the month of April. So it's going to be a fun year, for sure, when it comes to motion pictures. And if you want to keep up to date on everything that's going on in the world of television and movies and entertainment and sports, Fly Eagles Fly today. Go to lights-camera-jackson.com, Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. And when we're back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, I will predict the winners of the Golden Globe Awards. And we'll talk about Critics' Choice. We'll talk about everything going on in the award season world. And we'll see how Megan does going up against Avatar and how A Man Called Otto does in its wide release. Thanks for watching LCJ Live. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/LightsCameraJackson. New animation scoop Q&As, LCJ Q&As, and a lot more coming at you very soon. And some exciting projects I cannot wait to announce in 2023. I am Lights Camera Jackson. Thanks for watching LCJ Live. Happy New Year! And I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.